What's the deal with catfishing? The term catfishing only began in 2010. Before that, they called it marriage. It came from the documentary Catfish, where a man discovers that his online girlfriend is not a single woman who's super sexy and into cosplaying, anime, and abstinence until she met him, but actually a 40-year-old woman. Honestly, not the worst thing that could happen. In the end of the documentary, a man came out and told a story about how when transporting cod from Alaska to China, by the time that the fish got there, their flesh would be tasteless. So to fix this, they put some catfish inside of the vats to keep them healthy and agile. And like catfish, there are people that keep you on your toes, keep you fresh. He said thank goodness for catfish, because without them, we would be bored. Wow. That would have been so meaningful if he wasn't the catfish's husband. Wait till he discovers cucking. His untapped potential is only one share away. I think the term catfishing has evolved a lot. So what classifies as catfishing nowadays? Women wearing makeup? Men rounding up their sizes in more ways than one? Every cooking recipe online? I think the simplest definition would be pretending to be something or someone that you're not to trick someone for personal gain online. Meaning that every resume is a catfish. No real person would ever describe themselves as a cross-functional collaborator. The way that I got my first job was through catfishing. I was 16. My resume was empty. I may be Asian, but I'm not that Asian. So I wrote down a couple of times where I volunteered at the library, volunteered at Golden Corral on Memorial Day, volunteered at the pet shelter. Basically all of the things I did to hang around girls, and I put them all under work experience. Clearly, nobody read the resume, because when I came in for an interview and I said I had no work experience, he said, "Oh, look down at my resume?" And then hired me right away because he was too embarrassed to admit that he made a mistake, which, oddly enough, is the dream of people who catfish online. We must ask ourselves, what are people gaining from catfishing others online? The first thing can be attention. When someone doesn't get attention in their life, where does that take them? YouTube, typically. It takes other people to impersonating a hot, successful person online for attention. And I get this. Every single human, regardless of how antisocial they may be, requires some degree of attention. And many people will say, "You're tricking people into believing you're someone that you're not."
What if they discover the truth? They'll never see you for you.
You're just pretending to be a character. They're actors playing actors. And if you really think about it, they're better actors because they're method acting. The second reason is money. Many people pretend to be a dog salesman or a prince or a kidnapper who abducted your grandchild, which works a surprising amount of times. My grandmother always falls for these, particularly the "I'm in love with you" scam. And I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed because the people that she's falling for, quite frankly, they're ugly. I know the dating market for 70-year-olds is pretty tough, but if you're gonna get catfished, at least get catfished by someone pretending to be Brad Pitt. Word of advice, if someone is supposedly a super rich person, they probably won't be asking you for money all the time. His trust fund is him trusting that you will fund him. It must be hard to date online as a celebrity. Everybody sees their page and thinks, it's me. Wait, that means they're catfishing as me. The other version of income catfishing is OnlyFans girls. If Jesus came back right now and needed 12 disciples, he would get these women because these are the current fishers of men. This is a different type of catfishing because the men know that they're being tricked, but deep down, everyone wants to believe that good things can just happen to them. Like winning the lottery, or winning the claw machine, or having a super hot woman fall in love with them for the low price of $5 a month. But I can't get mad at them. They're business-minded catfish, and with those prices, they're not even gold diggers, they're goldfish. Sneaky dating catfishing is when you do slight alterations that you can get away with, such as editing your pictures, unless you edit it like an Asian wedding, using a filter, unless it's an Asian filter, or using old pictures, unless it's old pictures of some random Asian people. There are other strategies, such as using a picture with multiple people in it, leaving someone guessing which one you are. Only do this if you have ugly friends. You can pretend to have hobbies that someone of the opposite sex might find attractive. For example, the 14th most attractive hobby that men can have, according to women, is blacksmithing. I guess they only interviewed women in medieval Europe. So stick "you love blacksmithing" in your bio and you'll get tons of maidens. I'm not proud to say this, but I once tried to catfish a woman with money. I was talking to this girl that I really liked, and I was embarrassed that I was broke. I say was like that was past tense. But I told her that I made $100,000 a year, and she said, "That's all?" As a man, you never want to hear the words, "that's all," from a woman when she sees the dinner bill that you're paying for, when you get her a gift, and especially when you're having sex.
That's all I got.
Needless to say, that's all of the conversations we ever had. Finally, entertainment. Some people are just bored and want to trick people. I think it's funny to imagine a man clocking out of his job as Chris Hemsworth's body double just to clock into his hobby as Chris Hemsworth's body double. They even took catfishing and turned it into reality TV shows like Love is Blind. Turns out that love isn't blind. I know this because many people try dating on Discord without seeing the other person's face, and then the moment they see their face, they disconnect. It's a smart strategy. Make them fall in love with you before revealing your face on Discord. Call it kitten fishing. There's also something called reverse catfishing for compliments. Pretty people, in an attempt to beat the meta, make themselves look ugly on purpose. Then, trying to use the element of surprise, they show their real face to try to elevate themselves from a 9 to a 10. And honestly, this is the one true test to tell if you're hot or not. Because if all of the comments say, "They're out here fishing for compliments," hot. If they're complimenting you for real, But at the end of the day, catfishing is wrong and it is harmful no matter what the situation. Chris Hansen, the man who catfishes for good, you alone are the exception. Now, with all this talk about catfishing and the rising concern of your age, you're probably wondering, how can I know if I'm being catfished? Well, there are a few signs. Is somebody being nice to you online? You fell for the classic blunder. In conclusion, I've never been catfished because every single one of the women in my DMs are very real. Hello, Outro Lunar here. Click here to check out the recommended video, click here to check out the most recent video, and click here to check out my Twitch where I stream every weekend. Okay, goodbye.